but it went in our direction for NFP, and you'll see that here. All right, this was the NFP candle. This 830 candle. This is the NFP candle. Right? Trading NFP is a piece of cake. Let me explain why. So this is my 18th month in a row, I believe. Well, not in a row. This is the 18th month I've been trading NFP consecutively. Now, I've been trading NFP on and off before that, right? But last month, my streak would have been broken. I would have gotten NFP wrong last month. But the 16 months prior, each month, NFP, I would have gotten it right in terms of the directional bias. The reason why I'm able to do that is because I'm able to understand where the market is going directionally. That's it. That's all it boils down to. And that is what makes trading NFP a piece of cake. Now, a lot of people probably wondering, you're probably listening to this wondering, so how do I do it? How does he do it? Right? It's actually very simple. You need to obviously understand directional bias, and only then you can try to figure out an entry, right? Now, what I think a lot of people do is they go and they look at this, the dollar index, DXY. They go and they look at this, and they see the dollar index going up, and they say, right, okay, good. So let's just follow what the dollar index is doing. The mistake again with this is you're treating each and every single pair like it is one pair. So you might be looking at GU and AU and EU and saying all of them are doing the same thing. One thing you might not know is during NFP, there's also CAD news. And that oftentimes affects CAD in a completely different way than it would affect all of the other pairs that are US correlated, right? So you can have AU, EU, and GU all move down. You could have UJ, USD, CHF move up. And then you could have UCAD also move down like the rest of Euro USD, AUD USD, and GBP USD. So what you have to do is, what I do, I don't look at the dollar index at all, right? I don't care about this because this is only telling me what the dollar is doing. But something about economics I've understood over the years in my trading, right, is that even though, yes, fundamentals is a thing and you have to understand what the dollar index is doing, let me just say you have to understand. You should try to understand what the dollar index is doing. The main thing is, if you're only looking at what the dollar index is doing, guess what? You're not looking at how that dollar is being affected by other currencies. So you'll make a very big mistake in saying that because the dollar index is moving up, that automatically that means that AUD USD is going to move down, right? That is the mistake. That is the mistake. What you actually should be doing is looking at each and every single individual pair that is US dollar correlated and seeing how those other currencies relate to the dollar. So you could look at AUD USD. So typically for NFP, you know that NFP affects US dollar pairs, right? Or the majors. But typically you don't find people doing big analysis on something like NZD USD. But this is a dollar correlated pair. This is a dollar correlated pair, and it applies, the same thing applies to any dollar correlated pair. What about something like USD Mexican peso? This would be moving up. Simple, right? So the main thing what you have to understand is you have to understand what each and every single individual pair, or I should say individual currency, is doing in relation to the dollar. This is why I think that fundamental trading is so hard, because fundamental trading, if you were to say you want to use fundamentals to trade NFP or FOMC or any particular speech or news release or whatever, you cannot just look at what is going on the dollar index. You have to look at what is going on around the entire world. Literally around the entire world. You have to know what is going on with Germany and what is going on with Spain and what is going on with Italy and France and Rome and all of these different places. You have to know what is going on everywhere, right? Zimbabwe and Africa, South Africa, you name it, Nigeria, Madagascar. You have to know about the politics and the fundamentals, the economics of the entire world in order to be an effective fundamental analysis trader. What I do to negate that, instead of trying to rely on the fundamentals on any particular currency pair, is I look at each individual currency pair. So, and I look at the structure of it, because the saying is seeing is believing. But what a lot of people do is they think believing is seeing. In other words, they believe that a currency pair is, like something like AUD USD. They believe that the fundamentals on AUD USD based on the dollar index is going to make it do this. But seeing is believing. In other words, what I'm trying to get you to understand is you have to basically know what exactly AUD USD is doing in terms of a structured basis, and use that as your understanding to create your analysis. That's how I look at it. So seeing is believing. In other words, only when I see something that makes sense to me, then I'll begin to believe it. Because who am I to say that I believe that based on the economics of the Australian economics or the Australian fundamentals, and based on the economics of the dollar fundamentals or the United States fundamentals, that it is going to force AUD USD down? I'm a retail trader. What do I know about economics? And it is very, very presumptuous of anybody to believe that they know anything, even remote, about economics. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible. What I am saying is, to be a good fundamental analysis trader, you have to be a good fundamental analysis trader. Not just on the dollar, but on everything. And that is why I'm able to constantly make the correct decision, directional wise, for NFP. Months in a row. Last month, I'm telling you, last month was the only, ask any one of my students, last month was the only month after 17 months, sorry. That was the 17th month that I actually got it wrong. But 16 times before that, every single time I got it right. And today, I have also gotten it right in terms of where I thought it was going to go for NFP, and originally, and where I think it's going to go overall. I still think AUD USDs might continue to go down. Right now, it's showing signs that it's actually rejecting the downside a little bit, but it went in our direction for NFP. And you'll see that here, all right? This was the NFP candle. This, 830 candle. This is the NFP candle, right? Watch it here for Euro USD again. I said Euro USD, AUD USD, GBP USD sells, 830 candle. Watch out, sell, right? So right now, it's going back up, cool, no problem. This is what it is, right? Same thing, GBP USD, 830 candle, NFP, right? UCAD, I said UCAD buys. Let's see what it did for the ND 830 candle. Buys, 830 candle. USD CHF, 830 candle, buys, 830 candle. USD JPY, buys, 830 candle. Look at that. Gold, I said sells, 830 candle. Look at that. Why am I able to predict all of them correct? From a directional standpoint. Now again, this don't mean that I entered any of them, because I didn't. I'm telling you straight. But the whole idea is understanding where something is going directionally makes it a lot easier to understand if you will be able to capture an entry on that. The mistake that I think a lot of people make is they do the exact opposite way. They try to look at the entry first and then decide, okay, well, I wonder if it's really going and go in this direction, boy. They'll place buys randomly and say, I wonder if it's really going and buy, boy. That's not how you should do it. You should say, I think it's going to buy, so let me look for an opportunity to buy. Yeah? So this is a quick breakdown on NFP today. This the 8th of July, 2022. I really hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that it made some sense to you. I didn't do any big analysis. This was just understanding or trying to explain my thought process on why I'm able to make the decisions that I'm able to make, especially for these high volatility news, these high impact news. And I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, obviously leave a like on the video below. If you also want more content like this, where I break down currency pairs or any asset classes, be sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell, because obviously I'm going to be doing this a lot in the coming days, weeks, months, and years. And if you have any complaints or anything that you don't agree with, anything that you do agree with, anything that you have to say, you can leave it in the comments below, or you can contact me directly at EkataTrading on Telegram, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, or you can email me directly, which the link is in the description. I really hope that you enjoyed this one, guys, and I will see you all in the next one.